Toronto boys at it again. Raptors. Full analysis for the 2018-19 season. Big moves in the summertime. Big moves. You know who they added, right? They added Mr. Kawhi Leonard. Who did they lose? Renzen, man. Renzen, LA Renzen, Compton, gone, right? Headed over to the San Antonio Spurs. But they added right, Mr. Kawhi, Mr. Quiet Man. What are they going to do this season? So 23 points a game is gone. Player averages, right? DeRozan was the leading scorer. Lowry came in second with 16 points per game, and obviously the 7 assists. But this is a team, I just reviewed the Utah Jazz in a similar manner. They have established all-stars, okay? They don't have a superstar. Do they need a superstar? We're soon going to find out if Kawhi Leonard is that superstar. You can see him playing last night to the left against the Portland Trail Blazers. And what a game that was, okay? Showing their defensive prowess because I think they got much better defensively. Let's get into the team stats to understand what the heck's going on. Win-loss percentage, very high, very good. Overall, a 720, I mean, .720, folks, is amazing, right? Move the decimal places over. I mean, that is a high win percentage, okay? Very, very high. Great job for Toronto last year. They're another team that overachieved 3-point percentages, right? If you look overall, not that bad from the Raptors. Not that bad. I was looking for the overall player team stats. The other thing you want to take a peek at from a Raptors, here we go, from a Raptors perspective. So they were second last year, right? If you go overall. But let's look at the 3-point percentage. Oh, oh, I went there for a reason. Oh, did Kawhi Leonard give him that? Did they get mid range like you? Imagine if they were mid range and everything like Utah, they would probably be the first place team and maybe better than the Rockets. That's me stretching, but I'm just looking at the statistics. 35% from three, good, but they need more, right? There's people that are better. Matter of fact, there's 17 more teams that are better. Ask yourself that question: where they excel? And I guarantee this mid range are going to have to be one of the top premier teams. So they're in the top 10. That's the reason why. Mid-range games, they were on point, efficient scoring. Let's see free throw percentage, right? Raptors, when you can't hit the three, you better make your free throws, and they did that. And look who's on top, quintessentially. They can hit the three and shoot the free throws. That, by the way, this is not a Warriors video, so I'm gonna shut up. So that's a great percentage. How many a game? Look at that, 17.3 per game. Where does that end up from a free throw percentage? Remember, these are points, baby. Money's money, right? Money's money. So you gotta look at the free throw. 17, they're in the top 10 for that aspect. Steals per game, are the Raptors anywhere near the top 10? Do you see why they got Kawhi? Do you see why they got Kawhi? Okay. Turnovers, where is the Raptors at? Do you see why they got Kawhi? Do you see why they got Kawhi? All right. Assist wise. So again, they have a high turnover rate. They're in the top 10 in turnovers. That's not good. Assists per game, they're in the top 10. Great job. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Here we go. Assists per game. Toronto Raptors, 24. They were they were in the top 10. I was looking at it wrong. I just did it backwards. So they were in the top 10 for assists. They passed the ball around. Rebounding wise, take a peek. I don't know if they're going to get better here. I think they did a good job. They're in the top 15. You would like them to be in the top 10. Let's see the offensive rebound. I think that's where they held key. And no, they did not. This is a team that has a lot of avenues where they can improve. They're 14 for offensive rebound. Let's see defensive rebound, folks. Again, we got to analyze this as a GM. 11 there. So again, they're mid-range, right? 30 teams, you want to be under 15, right? That puts you, okay, I'm a little bit above average. That's the way I think about it. 32 teams, that is. So under 16 or 17, you should be good. So again, good season for those guys last year. I think they were overachievers. Let's look at the lineup. Boom, boom, bang. This year they lost derozan. Who else did they lose? Well, let's see who they added. Dang Adele, I don't know if he's going to make a team. They are good at finding these foreign international players that can ball. OG Anubai was one of those guys. Great season last year. Love him. Chris Boucher, he can play a role. He may make the team. Lorenzo Brown, a consummate professional. Great third string guard. They added Kyle Collinsworth. I don't know if he'll make the team. Kay Felder. I love Kay Felder. I hope he can find a place. I don't know if he'll be with the Raptors, but there's an opportunity for him to increase the assist ratio there. He can do that, and he can score as well. Danny Green, they added from the Spurs. Serge Ibaka getting older, playing the dual role, and now I heard he's taking over at the center position to give him a little bit more fluidity instead of Jonas, who I think they shouldn't get away from. I think JV should still be starting. Kawhi Leonard is the great big addition. Is he the superstar that they need? Is he the third or fourth best player in the league? We are going to find out. Kyle Lowry, a consummate all-star, 16 points a game, does what he needs to do. A grit guard, gets it done. Jordan Lloyd, don't know if he'll make the team. CJ Miles, another, again, talent, but I don't know if he'll make the team. I don't know too much about him, so I'll shut up. CJ Miles, great three-point shooter. Greg Monroe, the addition from the rebounding perspective. Can he do it? Can he bring these guys in the top 10? Big addition here, Greg Monroe. Eric Moreland, consummate move around kind of guy. He's trying to get a rope space in the NBA. He got to keep a couple call ups. Good work hard guy, but he can help with the center position. He can help with the rebounding. Moving on, Norman Powell. He needs a more prominent role in this league. He can be the sixth man of the year if given the minutes or potential to be in the running for that. They need to get Norm Powell the ball. He needs to get included in this offense more often, and they need to play him more. Great talent, Malachi Richardson. Sorry, kid, great player, but he's not going to see a lot of minutes with this team, and that's the issue. And the league is tight. I don't know where else he goes. What he can add himself is, can he get maybe 10 to 12 minutes consistently a game? He'll be able to showcase himself. I like Malachi Richardson and what his body of work he brings, and he may be the reason why they potentially let go of derozan, as I think he can come into the derozan mold. He has that talent. Him and Norm Powell have the talent to kind of do derozan type things without the handle, because derozan's a almost incredible handler at the guard, maybe one of the top guard handlers in the league at the two guard position. Pascal Siakam, love him. I love Siakam. I love OG. I love these two. These two are great players. I like this addition. They're positionless. They can do everything, and they're very athletic. They're defensive. I love them. Jonas used to be the anchor. We'll see how this plays off. I love Jonas. Promise the league is changing, but he's added the three ball. Let's see what he can do. I think maybe 6 years ago he would have been a consummate all star. Nowadays they don't look at the center, so sorry for the dude, but great player, kind of like a Brook Lopez on the Lakers. Fred VanVleet leads a second unit, consistent guard, very consistent. You know what you're getting. Great player. I love him because he's consistent. He can get in the lane at will. He has a good jump shot. Everything is good with this guy. He's not superior and doesn't have to be. He's not all super fast. He's not a super leaper. He just gets the damn job done every night, and you know what you're getting. Delon Wright is a guy, third guard, is going to be exactly that, a guard. Love him as a scorer. Nice athletic wing. Uh, Great speed. I think he has the potential to maybe make some moves this year. Could he, if he got the minutes, potentially uh, get a more prominent role and get paid maybe in the next few years? If he got the time, DeLon Wright has the potential. But again, he's in the Malachi Richards situation where the league is crowded. With the departure of derozan, that gives him an opportunity. Gives these two guys an opportunity to play, even though CJ Miles is going to be the anchor at the guard role at this point in time. So I like this lineup. I think they're stronger. I do like what they have added. What they do need, obviously, we just saw it, rebounding and three-point percentage. Who's going to fill that gap? Can Malachi Richardson come out? Can Kate Felder maybe make this team and help them out at the three-point position? I'm saying that, hey, every minute counts. Even if K gets maybe 5 minutes and Malachi gets 10 minutes, if they can hit the 2 or 3 threes that they'll attempt, that's all that's needed to move them up into the top percentage from a 3-point perspective. Leading this team last year in 3-point percentage because that's their weakness was Nigel Hayes because he didn't play. With Fred VanVleet, that's why I talked about consistency. Lo and behold, only look at that. I was just looking at that, checking out Mr. Jonas JV 40% from three. That's interesting as well. Kyle Lowry, obviously the anchor, and that's where my man DeRozan really struggled. He was not a great three-point shooter. He's a good mid-range shooter, and this league has gone to three. Was a Norman Powell any better? No. That's the other issue. And Malachi Richardson also at the bottom of the pack with 0 3-pointers made as of last year, which is very, very interesting. He came on late. Look at the games played as well, just to be advised. He was down in the G League. So more prominent roles, people moving in. 3 point 3 point is something that you're looking at. Lucas Nogueira is no longer there. Brunas Caballero is no longer there. Malcolm Miller is no longer there. Alfonso McKinley is no longer there, and I think Jacob Poto is no longer there as well. Actually, he should still be there. So they did let Jacob Poto go. That's a shame. So those are the guys that you look to, and Jacob Poto could have played a role maybe in a 3-point mid-range game as a backup center, but he's gone or moving to a different league. Let's see what Danny Green brings, right? 3-point percentage. Let's see what Kawhi brings, 3-point percentage. So I did bring up an old stat of Kawhi Leonard. I want to look at the top scorers from 16-17, and here goes Kawhi. Kawhi over 25 points per game in that year. And that was the year he was a star. DeRozan had more points than him, by the way, folks. He was a better performer from a point perspective, but then we go back to the thing that's eating him. Get there, baby. Get there. Come on. Anyway, 38% from three. Kawhi Leonard versus that year, DeRozan 26%. So he's been improving. But Jesus Lord, you can see the improvement. Kawhi, less turnovers per game, right? Kawhi appears to be a little bit better rebounder, right? Again, these are all little aspects that make you look at something and go, okay, right, this is something we gotta look at. We gotta improve our team every year. What can we do? So, out of the top 10, Kawhi, very, very efficient. Going to free throw percentage. Look at DeRozan's free throw percentage. Not bad. Top guy, but 88% for Kawhi. Efficient. More efficiency there, right? These are all the things you freaking look at as a GM, right? Because everyone's the same in your eye. Field goal, 48%. Overall, it appears Kawhi, and then you look at the minutes per game. DeRozan had an extra minute or 2 minutes to play, and you say Kawhi probably could have had 28, 29. That 3 points is big, folks. People don't realize how big 3 points is per game for a team trying to contend for a title. Okay, that's huge. So when you get that from somebody and a player that you can improve the team with, when the Toronto Raptors win percentage in the 17-18 season, when you're at, you know, .720 from a win percentage, the second best team in the league. When you look at the win percentage, I mean, come on, you add it. You add it to show you what 2 to 3 points do. Here goes the points per game, 111 versus the Rockets 112. 3 points per game makes them the leading scorers in the league. Turnover wise, it brings them down the pole, right? If you look at turnovers, if they had 2 turnovers less, the lowest guys are Dallas. Toronto could have edged up there. So all these things matter. It's a game of creases, and I like the Raptors. Where are they going to be at? I'm talking a little bit too much here. Where are they going to be at next year? I think that the Toronto Raptors have improved, and I think they'll be in the same position they were last year, except I think they're still gonna. I think they're gonna get more efficient, and there may be a trade that they make to get a big time power forward. My thoughts on this team. I hate to say this. Greg Monroe, Ibaka for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis would make this team a contender, and they could potentially get Wiggins next year somehow, some way. I think those are the moves they make. I think Kawhi should stay. And adding those pieces in a couple trades, you have a team that's trying to win a championship instead of a great supersonic Seattle Mac and Gary Payton, Sean Kemp days that were great in the regular season, but couldn't do anything in the playoffs because they didn't have enough. Their bench is stronger than most of the teams in the NBA. They've added Danny Green, who I think will be a great three-point shooter once he gets in the groove. He's a system player, so won't show too well in the preseason. I think they've made great additions, but if they want to take it to the next level and be fighting with the Golden State Warriors, I like the addition of maybe an Anthony Davis in a trade somehow, some way. So peace out from all y'all. Off Work Sports. It's on Sunday, so I have some time. Want to talk about the Toronto Raptors in this Kawhi Leonard edition. It made sense from a stat perspective. Peace.